So I'm here with Joe. We're going to just start. You good for that?
All right. Absolutely.
I'm here with Joe Lord, and I said your name right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Lord is I thought 4-letter word.
Yeah. I've been saying so many different names. I'll be like, hey, can you just say your name for me?
Yeah.
And I'm going to just take this off because I want to look like you. I want to be cool. So I'm here with Joe Lord on the line. I appreciate you stepping up to the line and having a real and honest conversation with me. You are the third Turner team member that I've had on the podcast. The first one being some rando guy named Keaton, and then I had Thomas Hahn on, and now we're having a conversation with you. And so I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. You're actually not in the other room with your team eating right now.
Yeah. Just dinner.
That's just
get plenty
dinner.
Of those. How many times do I get to meet you?
We know how important dinner is, and he's like, just dinner.
There's no cheese, and it's not a Wisconsin dinner. Yeah, I had to throw. I figured it was coming sooner or later.
That was awesome.
No, I appreciate it. This is awesome. You are so heavily regarded, man. Your persona, the whole bit. I'm jacked up.
Well,
I'm excited to be the third.
Well, let's have a real and honest conversation and bring some truth. So tell me a little bit about your origins, Joe. Like how did you? So you work for Turner Staffing Group.
Yep.
And you're the VP of sales.
Yep.
Okay. And were you always in sales? Like, were you selling newspapers when you were 12, or what was
I was
the deal?
that type of guy. I wasn't always in sales professionally. I went to a pretty small town in Wisconsin high school. It was actually a big high school because it was two combined, but didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Went to college for my accounting degree in UW La Crosse because it was on the Mississippi River, so I could guide for ducks and geese. So I started hustling and guiding people and making some money kind of on the side. Like everybody would tell you I was a hustler, sales guy since I was a young guy, but what do you do with that? I wasn't a trades guy at the time, but I was a small town Wisconsin boy.
Yeah.
So like the hunting, the fishing, really I went to school to chase ducks. It was an incredible time I had there. Paid for some of my school, got to be with my family a lot there, but anyways, got my 5-year accounting degree. After that was 2008. Bad time to be a fresh accountant.
It was a bad time to be anything, actually.
Bad time to be anything but a kid with some student loans who finishes out a duck season December 3rd with student loans creeping in. Finished out the season, moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Picked up everything. I mean, my old man, God bless, sorry, still alive, but Vietnam vet is
Me too.
hardcore family guy,
Yeah.
as you could imagine. His oldest boy leaves the house, leaves the nest egg, moves out to Arizona, but I knew I had to do it to figure something out. And I went to school for accounting because I figured it would be the basis of some sort of business for me.
Okay.
That I would be selling something or understand things better. I was mistaken. I got down there, got a job. I was a cost accountant for a small commercial furnishing company at the time. And in 2008, I probably applied to welder jobs, everything just to get a job down there. Really, because I'm thinking I'm going to leave small town Wisconsin, go to the big city and find something. You know what I mean? In Phoenix, it was warm. I gave up everything just to focus on work, right?
You went from Wisconsin to Phoenix. Like, do you understand what that word? Like, Phoenix is like one of the hottest places in the United States of America.
It's hottest for a lot of things, Josh. Okay, I'm a 22-year-old guy at this point. If you Google best cities to live in for accounting, that was the reason. It was like, Phoenix, Arizona is because of like the booming, everything was good. At that time, obviously it wasn't great, but there was more job opportunity. But in the background, it was like, it'll be a good time. That's kind of what I was thinking, right?
It'll be a good
Can't
time.
lose.
You can Google that and understand what he means.
Yeah. So anyways, I get down there. I do a commercial furnishing for this commercial furnishing company, a cost accountant, very entry level, like the whole thing. Sitting there tapping my pencils as finished out a duck season, right? Taking guys out, dropping them in the marsh, making a couple $1,000 in a weekend, like the whole bit. And I'm sitting there for like nothing, just tapping my pencil, being like, "What did I do with my life?" I'm like, my guidance counselor even told me. I'm like, I should have went to school for outboard. I'm a big fisherman. I really want to do outboard mechanic stuff.
Wow.
But it was just, this was the route. I was like, this is how I'll figure it out. Anyways, won't bore you with that stuff. Anyway, so applied to all these jobs. Oddly enough, a financial staffing firm that I had applied to that got me the job was like, hey, would you be interested in working for us? Because, like, you're not really an accountant. Like, you got the skills to do it, but what if you placed accountants and stuff, but, like, you're a selling guy. Like, you could sell for us, and this is what you could make.
Wow.
So I was like, done.
Yeah.
I was like, done. So I did that.
So you're not afraid of work. That's a good thing.
No, dude. I started when I was 13. I mean, I'm a small-town Wisconsin kid. I was raking baseball fields, janitor work, anything I could get my hands on that my dad or mom would drop me off to or ride my bike to, and then hit a fishing spot on the way home with my, it was work and it was fun, but, like, the old man's like, Joe, since I was a little kid, he's like, do something to make money because you like nice stuff. Like, you like nice stuff, you like to do too much stuff. He's like, just figure it out.
Yeah.
And this is also a guy that, when I graduated high school, was like, are you going to college? I was like, yeah, Dad. I got into the second, technically right now the best business school in Wisconsin. He's like, good for you. You know, that's how I grew up. So it was really just at the basis there. He worked for himself for a long time. So anyways, I get into sales young, in staffing, oddly enough. So I do staffing down there, spend 3 years in Phoenix, wake up one day, Groundhog's Day, sunny day. For a Midwestern guy, or, you know, you're Northeast, but seasons.
Yes.
Whew. You get out of seasons. It was a great time until it wasn't a great time.
Yeah.
When your wallet's empty and your liver's hurting, and it's still sunny out every day, you're just kind of like, I got to get out of here. So I opened up a branch of this company with a partner that was my manager when I first started at
the accounting staffing company.
Yeah, this firm down in Phoenix.
Yeah. She's
like, hey, I'm moving back to Iowa. She had kind of a messy divorce. I won't get into it. But she was young, and she was like, Joe, what if we started one of these here in the Quad Cities, but commercial? Like commercial industrial, like all manufacturing, farming. This is where, like, John Deere is, you know, big industry. Mining support, too, for Komatsu. Ton of. So I was like, I'm in. That gets me back home close. I'm 3 hours away from home at this point from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Convinced my DBO, my district branch officer, whoever at the time, we basically put together a business plan to start a branch of the staffing firm. I mean, we got X number of dollars to start it, set it up, and built it from the ground up. Us too, ripping out calls, putting the boots on, going to all the everywhere we could get business to help staff, and, like, we're doing a lot of community stuff. Built kind of a brand for myself then, but again, about 2 or 3 years, met some great people, some of the best people in my life down there. Like, Iowa's an awesome, and there's big whitetails, so it was like, perfect. So we got the office to about 15, maybe, 50, just under 20 people, I think. Okay. And we had several recruiters, like, we're, you know, big time salespeople, we're killing it. And I am back home on a hiatus with my brothers, ice fishing. Like, I usually take off a month for the break, and I went back and I met my wife at a bar on New Year'sEve that I didn't know was my wife then, but I knew it. I mean, legit. I just knew it. There was a lot of, I can't talk about any of that on the podcast.
No, we're good. Weird, I get it.
Awesome story how we got there. But anyways, I met her. We started talking, and I just took another job for a different staffing firm, a true financial staffing, like a very high-level financial staffing firm. I was just like, I'll start in 2 weeks if you'll have me. They said yes. I got back to Milwaukee area. I live in Germantown now. And I did that for about 6 months, but I hated it. I wanted out of staffing. Like, general staffing, financials is it's like selling commodities or dealing with day-to-day. There was no substance to my work. There was no gratification. It was like cheapest dollar, most phone calls. It was a grind your face off job, which I just kind of had enough.
So before we make the shift, because I can tell that we're getting there.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
From where you're not just grinding your face off, but actually having purpose in what you're doing.
Yes.
What's a tool or a piece of gear that Joe can't live without?
My wife.
You're going to have to elaborate on that.
I mean,
I said a tool or a piece of gear.
I would say as a mental... Okay, so you didn't clarify if it's a physical tool or like a mental tool.
So, Joe, I just want to be really clear. Did you just call your wife a tool on the line podcast? Because, I'm just,
Could have. Mental tool, my wife. Physical tool, my bow, just in general. Has nothing to do with work or anything, but...
So why your wife? What do you mean about her that you can't live without? Tell me more.
She made me want to be a better human being from the minute that we were... exclusive, I guess you could say. I mean, everything was the next step.
The best thing in a life partner.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And like you spend your whole life thinking, not really even thinking about it until it comes up. And like you get to wake up for something better to come better. And even today, we push each other so much harder to do more. And I've been traveling. I have been on the road for the last 12 years, every week or every other week in a mine site in North America with the job that I took on the transition. And that's why I say my tool, because I could not have done it. I signed the papers when I took that job with her.
Yeah.
She was the only reason, because in my line of work, I'm supporting this industry heavily in manufacturing, now in people. But I didn't have tools except for a laptop and a cell phone, which I could do my job without any of those. I just was forced to track what I was doing. You know what I mean?
I do.
So,
and I think that's something that people don't realize the importance. You know, my son is 17, and I know that someday he wants to have a family and he wants to build. And we were talking the other day, and if there's one thing that I could strive to young people, and specifically to young men, only because I was a young man, is the importance of who you decide to do the rest of your life with. It is beyond one of the most important things that you will decide, and it will change the outcome of your life.
Everything.
Everything.
Free time, not free time, work time, every single second of your life you're devoted. I mean, if you are with the wrong, and there's plenty of people listen, you're with the wrong one, you know it, you feel it.
Yeah.
When you're not, they make you such a better person wholeheartedly. And I guess you strive for that. I got lucky, married up big time, but like her story was so unique.
Yeah.
And they escaped the war in Bosnia, came over. Like, I mean, Anne Frank stuff, real life. They appreciate things like we could never. And I'm a small town family guy.
Come on.
But like this family makes my family look like we're not a family. Like the story, the motivation, like it was just wholeheartedly. It changed me as a human being. And I was already a hard-working, didn't matter what it was. And we'd put together, we'd build houses. I've done every trade job you probably could imagine in some facet of my life, just as side hustling, whatever, nothing on paper. But this woman brought a new level to my existence. You know what I mean?
Well, and this, you know, it's interesting. This isn't the marriage podcast, except we're talking about something that's really, no, I mean this good. Because for me, my wife has been one of those things where I understand what you're saying, because in starting a business and doing certain things, I remember a mentor of mine saying to me, your wife has to be on the same page with you if you do this. And because I had no idea how hard it was going to be. I had no idea how hard life was going to be. And she came into my life, and let me be really clear. Everybody that meets my wife thinks she's really nice and she's really sweet. And she is to you. But to me, so I'm dumb and I need like blunt force. And so she is like abundantly clear. And let me be upfront about this. I believe that she loves me. I know she loves me.
She's got to, yeah.
But she is like, I would come home whining about work. And she would be like, stop your whining.
Yeah.
She would be like, shut up. She'd be like, this is what you feel like you're supposed to do. This is what you're called to. And, you know, faith plays a huge part in my life, and I'll never forget this. One time I wanted to quit so bad. I actually said, I'm getting a job at Home Depot. And nothing against Home Depot, but it was like I wanted to not be doing what I was doing, and I felt called to it. And she said, well, what's the last thing that you feel like God said to you in your being called to what you're doing? And she goes, if he didn't say anything and it sucks, well, maybe he called you to the suck.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's awesome.
Come on. But that's what I need. I've been married for over 20 some years.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
That's fantastic.
And it is because, matter of fact, she was just on the phone with me today. I was struggling with something, and she was kind, but she's not nice.
Yeah.
But
that's what you need. You can't
exactly
have
what
too
you need.
Nice. My wife knows me. She will look me in the face and tell me that I got to change my shit. You know, like that's what I want. She knows it.
Absolutely.
But we do that to each other. She just got done with her NP, like grinded our face off with 2 little kids, her in school, working, me on the road. Like, I mean, we just went through professional hell to get to the other. Mm-hmm. We have had the grind years. That's what we call them. We're like, we're in a grind year. Big deal.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out. We did. And this week, we just got through it.
Well, and your boss says that. He says you got to grind your face off, which I love and hate. But it's the reality. It's the truth.
The grind is like, people are overusing it, like the grind, the hustle. Like, you have it or you don't. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't fake it because you just won't get there, you know, if you try and fake it, right?
Well, and it's very much like the trade industry in the sense of you can smell a fake.
Yep.
Like you either know how to grind and you've been through it and you have the grit to do it, or you don't.
Yep.
And so that is really cool that you and your wife have that relationship and that she is that one thing in your life that it permeates all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
because without that piece of the puzzle, I can't do any of the fun stuff. I have way too many hobbies I'd like, you know, to even talk about. But like,
well, you talked about a lot of them already, so I mean,
good. You know, well, there's a couple of them, but yeah, I mean, you can't live a full-hearted life. But again, I sacrifice a lot of. I know I have to be a family man and be a good husband for her, supportive when she needs it, and we got to prove it to each other, you know.
Absolutely.
But like that tool for me, because I'm not hands-on in the dirt every day doing this. I'm up here trying to navigate things and change lives how I can in this industry. You know, that is the tool that keeps me laser focused to do what I got to do and help who I got to help. And
so talk about that for me. So like you went through, which is a very interesting story to me, of how you went through like a staffing company, dude. Like you went through, you know, you went for a degree as an accountant. You actually got hired by the staffing company. You're there and you go and you start another staffing company. And so now we're at that place in your story.
Yep.
And
so
now jump to you're at Turner Staffing. How did that, tell me real quick, how did that happen?
I got recruited from a different firm to work for a manufacturing company who supports like an OEM company for Komatsu and Caterpillar.
Okay.
Okay. They want a North American sales manager who traveled his ass off. But the reward was insane. And I talked to my wife, my tool, right? My mental tool.
What's your
babe?
wife's
She's
name?
gonna love that. Amra. Yeah.
Amra, I'm sorry.
Oh, she'll appreciate it. But anyways, I was like, this is incredible. You know,
It's a beautiful name, by the way.
She's gonna appreciate that too. I was way over my skis in my mind, but they were like on the cultural personalities, you are the guy. And I was like, all right, you know what? If my wife is cool with this, me being gone, she knows what I'm going to do for effort. Like if it's an outside sales job and I have to be in a mine site every 2 weeks, great.
Yeah.
But like mining people are my people. You know what I mean? So got the job, no problem. I did that for 10 years. Ended as basically the global director of sales for mining.
Dude, seriously.
So that's what I did for 10 years, just over 10 years. And I've been following Keaton and Company, Thomas, for a long time, about 8 years since they started.
Some really cool guys. I hate to say that. Can we edit that out?
Yeah.
I don't want to know that. But really, really cool guys that you got there.
They intersected me. I was trying to call on them to sell to them. And their guy basically got me to sit down with Thomas at a dinner. And they're like, this is what we have. You're the guy.
Had they started it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
It was started no business development or anything.
Okay.
It was just the nature of the business they built.
Yeah.
The business model's there. Now they need somebody to figure out what's good business, bad business, the business, managing it all.
Yeah.
Business development, somebody on the road, take the punches, tip of the spear. I wanted nothing more than that job. And really getting back in, it was almost a perfect, like a staffing firm in mining. I'd been in mining with all the relationships, but I had a staffing background in there that I hated, but these guys aren't staffing firm guys. These are miners who attract talent to pass off to
I think that's
companies.
the fascinating thing about
heavy
their story
civil.
Is they're one of the very first to attract talent in a new way on a new level.
It's incredible. And they attracted me somehow where they made, I'm like, I got a job that I could retire from and I'm not even 40 yet, and they're like, you're the guy. And here I sit. I wanted nothing more than to work with these minds that I saw from afar that were doing stuff different. Yeah. I mean, I was as high and wide as I could get in this company, literally.
Yeah.
Without the next job that I really would never even want to take. But no offense, it was a great company, great gig, but I got the mining experience. I did it for 10 years, and I loved every minute of it on the road, juggling the family and the young kids, the whole bit. But coming here, I got to, 6 months development. I was a new human being, new level of human just from being in a room with these guys, the way they work on business.
Well, and just to be real, it's funny for me, a lot of our clients and whatnot, we've accidentally fallen into the mining world. when I was an apprentice, I worked in Pennsylvania. We have mining quarries, we have open pit mines, but nothing like you guys have out here. I mean, we did have coal, but that's a whole nother.
Like anthracite up at Reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But at Blackline, we kind of fell into this, and I got to speak with the mining community. I got invited to different places and having conversations with them. And you've heard that term, oh, he's a real salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yep.
They are people who, they are the real deal. And they think with, one of my favorite words is legacy, and they think with a legacy mindset in what they do. And part of that's because it's a requirement. I've been here at this event over the past couple of days talking with people and having real and honest conversations with people in the mining industry. And the reality is they're a type of people that I believe that they exist other places, but there's such a high concentration of them in the mining industry. And I absolutely love it. They're the people that won World War II, and those are the people that I want to be alongside.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm here. I mean, the heavy civil, really yellow iron work, there is such a there's so much to be proud of. Like, people don't understand, and I hope we get into it a little bit, but just the opportunity in this field is
talk about
unbelievable.
Come on.
I mean, the positions that we hire for, so Turner Mining Group is a contract mining company.
Never
that does
heard of
mining
them.
service all over the country, right? They started a staffing firm to support that because the customers wanted good people. They knew what Keaton was and Thomas and company were attracting because they wanted to change the narrative on that. They wanted to make it look sexy because it is. And yes, it's dangerous and it can be dirty and all of it, right?
Yeah.
But there's a part to it that people don't see in terms of the opportunity. It is, you start with a hill, you end with a hill, and then all of the technical and the production and everything to get it reclaimed. And there's so many positions in there. There's so many places to go and grow. It needs to be shown more. People need to understand the trades.
I agree.
All the trades inside the mines. I mean, add another zero, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. If you're willing to go anywhere to work in a mine, I guarantee you can add a solid decimal somewhere in there,
Well, and the reality is, I think that as far as a career goes, if you're young and you're looking for a career and you're like, well, I don't want to be limited, the trades, the mining industry, it's there really is no limit.
Nope.
You can go after the dollar and make as much money as you want to make. You can go after the career. You can go. There are different options and there are different ways. I mean, I talked with the CEO of U.S. Gold Corp today.
Yeah, wild.
He
seems like a cool dude.
He is really a cool dude.
He seems awesome.
Really cool.
I
Plus,
watched his panel today.
Plus, he has an accent that just
it
doesn't matter what he says.
Done.
It's just pretty
He's cool. Yeah.
So, George, sorry, we're fangirling over here. So, but the reality is, he started a career in this industry, and there was no limit. He actually was done. Very similar to your story. He basically was like, oh, and I'm going to get back into it for this because I love it.
Yeah.
What does that say when you've already made what you needed to make, and you're at a place in life where you don't need to do it, but you want to do it?
Yep.
I mean,
it's just self-gratification. I mean, what's the next thing? You know what I mean? Everybody gets still. We're seeing it with the youth right now and the tenure of jobs. It's just, they are not explaining career paths for people. So when somebody is sick of their job doing monotonous work every day for 3 years, they leave for $1 more thinking it's going to be better over here, when in all actuality, if that next step was explained and shown, or there was more transparency what they could do with that company, their next tour of duty or next tenure would be in that company somewhere. And that is the trades is notorious for you're here, electrical has a very strict path, but people don't understand there is 100 different industries in electric that you can do this and that and the whole thing, but they don't see it because everybody's on their phone and all they're doing is TikToking and looking at, skimpy stuff and whatever. But
you're touching on the reality.
We're not putting.
There it is. Come on.
We are not putting this opportunity in front of their face to see what they could be exposed to help be productive.
Yeah.
It's very, it almost seems like it's on purpose, that they're doing that. You hear about TikTok and it's over there, they're getting math problems that they see every day. And over here, it's just absolute garbage
Yeah.
that a lot of our guys are looking at, guys and gals. But there was a statistic I had shared, and maybe it was shared by Thomas or Keaton in here, but there's about 45 million folks who are 24 to 35 in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
So we'll consider them workers. Maybe
Yeah.
20% of them are unemployable, whatever. How long do you think that they are on phone? Like the average time that they are on the phone each day?
It's probably going to make me throw up.
What do you think?
I don't know, 3 hours?
4.6 hours. 4.6 hours. That is between work and school, whatever they could be doing, family life, sleeping.
That's
4.6
almost 5 hours, and that's an average. So that means that some people are on the phone longer.
Yeah. So if we take 10% of that number, we're at 4.5 million, right? And then we take times, let's say around 5. We're at 20.5 million hours of time that these probably very capable, everybody's just doom scrolling, but we have 20 plus million hours of people scrolling. They just need to see one mining ad, one something to pique an interest in the trades and the anything to get their lazy ass off their phone for a second. Be like, pique a little bit of interest to be like, you know what? I want to better myself or do this or see this. Like, there's no explaining what is going on at this conference right now. The stuff I saw in this room.
Come on.
The amount of minds the amount of intelligent minds and what is going on behind the doors blew my mind. And I've been around this stuff for 12 years, solid, selling to it. So I need to know everything, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is none of them are really taking, and I shouldn't say none of them, some of them are, but they're not taking in like the consideration, what are we going to do in 5 years? How are you intercepting this person that you want to work for you, even if for 3 years? Because the average tenure of these people is 2.7 years a year. Or 2.7 years at a job.
That's insane.
Insane.
2.7.
It's 2.7.
That's just a little
Department
over
of Labor.
2.5 years.
Unbelievable. But if we put ourselves in a position to attract talent for that and look at it as a tour of duty or like your next skill set, then you appease them longer.
So talk more about that, Joe, because I think you're uniquely positioned to speak on this. It's like, how do we reach out to those people, and how do we communicate that? How do we explain that? And how do those of us who we hear 2.7 years and we look at it, and if I'm going to be honest, we're judgy. Mm-hmm. How do we change the narrative?
So we are changing the narrative by putting together good content that the younger generation, I will say, I'm 40.
Yeah.
So 35 and younger, we will say, are possibly the positions that won't be in like a senior role where, because lower than 24, it's a even lower tenure. Higher is better. Okay. Wow. But it's bad. But creating the content that is attractive enough, the stuff that you guys like, that you expose yourself to. You do these settings in these cool places, like you are the ones that they stop and check out for a minute, even if it's a minute, right? Yeah. They got it because there's two dudes in a recliner on a shipyard or in a pit or whatever. It's like that. That is the stuff that is very easy for these mines and big, heavy civil companies to produce with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
To make the content that somebody stops on for a minute, and then they need to be directed on like, what is the opportunity here? Yeah. Is that going to a new job? Is that going to a industry? Is that going to the trade, this trade, that trade? So there's a huge difference between workforce, and I kind of talked to you about this.
Come on,
earlier.
This is good.
There's a big difference right now between the workforce shortage, the retirees, right?
Yeah.
And by 2029, David McLean from Burns & McDonnell had mentioned,
2029 is not far away.
Not far away, but the amount of retirees done over, scary, half the mining workforce, he said. Half. 50 freaking %, dude.
All right, so let's just take a breather here and let's talk about, we're going to go with a little conspiracy talk right now.
Yep.
So, because I think this is interesting and what you're talking about. So I have a theory on the pyramids.
Okay, I love it. You Joe Rogan guy?
Joe is like scared to death. He's like, where is he going? Yeah. But we don't know how they were built. And there are all these theories. You watch YouTube. There's a gazillion different videos on what it is. I actually don't think it's all that complicated. And I think we're on the verge of another situation like it. And this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Could it be that there was trade knowledge and how to do that work that was instantly lost, similar to what we're going through now, where over a period of, I don't know, a decade or two or whatever it was, this trade knowledge was lost. Because what is happening right now in the next, you say over the half the mining workforce and people aren't coming back in, when these guys who average in their 50, late 50s, early 60s leave, they take with them something that we actually haven't captured. We don't know how to. Like when I learned to trade, I worked alongside a man who had done it.
Absolutely.
And there are certain things that we can teach in a classroom. There are certain things that we can teach, and now we have new technologies that we need to be capturing that data of working alongside that guy. And we haven't really done that yet. Mm-hmm. There are some organizations out there that are working at it and really attempting it, but it also is a huge lift. And so I kind of wonder if maybe that's what happened, and it really wasn't all that complicated, but they lost a whole bunch of trade knowledge like that. Yeah. And I wonder if that's where we're going to be. And we're going to lose a whole bunch of trade knowledge and never know how to get it back.
So there's two things to that. I think that is one potential. For me,
I love this.
We're going to get to a point where things are just going to change. They're going to figure out how technology can close that gap quickly with AI or whatever it is. So that could be a possibility. Where we don't lose it all. We just figure it out. Like that's what Americans do. Like we just kind of figure it out. The pyramid thing, and again, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan stuff.
My Joe Rogan moment.
If you listen to, I'm kind of on the thing of if that was the national goal for 30 plus years, it doesn't matter how long it takes to build those pyramids, as long as they get frickin' built perfectly, right? Yeah. So maybe we're just at a time where it's technology outdid the trades. We got to build this shit back right now, and we just suck it up. The profits are down. This is over. People get.
The reality is that is exactly what is happening.
Comes right back down to zero, and we are stronger because that is the other thing. But I really think the technology is going to come in, or they're going to rely, or they're just going to have to get smart quick. That's what we do, and rely on people like us that can maybe help them attract people. In that, I can find that unicorn who might have that experience because we have access to.
How do you do that? How do you find that unicorn, Joe?
I have an incredible team of recruiters, but what Keaton and Thomas and all of company did for Turner Mining Group, they changed the narrative, or they put so much time and effort and money into social media because they saw a pivotal point.
Come on.
You knew when when I had a couple different businesses in the outdoor industry, there was a point in social media where you could share for free, you could get likes for free, you could do share for shares. There was all this different way to get to 30,000 likes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how important 30,000 likes is today because you got to pay $100,000 for 30,000 likes, and they're all bots. These were legit. These are people seeing it. So Keaton and company wanted to attract good talent to build a good mining company, and in that made it look sexy and did all this stuff. So our pipeline, we get a resume, Josh, every 14 minutes of the day right now.
Do you hear that? Every 14 minutes.
So we attract talent because of the work they put in. But you need to find your target audience. You need to figure out how to cut them off with your brand and why your core values are better and why your company's better and all this stuff. That's what I was saying to this. There's a workforce issue, and then there's a talent attraction issue with the company. And some companies think that it's just a workforce issue. Nobody wants to work out there or whatever. They're just not attracting the right talent because they're not spending the money to do it. Their leaders probably aren't very involved with the transparency of the company and boosting people and pushing their core values to say we're different, we're the best, our culture rocks. Yeah, everybody says that in a meeting, right?
Yeah, everybody does, but not everybody's telling.
But nobody spends enough time and is consistent to get it out there and show it so it actually makes results. And guess what? In the next 5 years, you don't have to worry about attracting talent because it's already coming in.
I think one of the things that I absolutely love about what it is that you guys have done is you crack the code on something, and instead of hiding it, you decided you wanted to open up and share it. And that's what you're doing with Turner Staffing, where you're like, hey, let us help you do what it is that we've done. And that's pretty awesome.
We're trying to protect an industry here.
Yeah.
I was the young guy for many years. I was the young guy trying to get his way in with all these top dog mining guys, trying to sell to him, right? Like when I was in manufacturing, it was like, how do you gain that respect? You know, I'd work my way in, but I worked with the young guys and drank with the young guys, and then now the young guys are in the big positions, and now the young guys are running stuff now, and we're all kind of at the same deal. But like, there is absolutely, man, if you give the effort to like twist that and put the money into like getting in front of the people you need to get to, not even the money, it's just the consistency.
Yeah.
Right. And again, forget what I was talking about. It comes down to like, we are trying to save this environment.
Come on.
And the people in this room and every other mining conference and heavy civil conference around, if they're not doing that, they're absolutely missing out. And it is so simple, oftentimes free, right?
Yeah.
Just to be consistent. Your podcast, consistent. It's different. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. You have a following of those people you need. You just need to find that little following. You don't need 45 million.
No, you don't.
You need to get in front of 1.
I'll take 10 followers that are CEOs of billion-dollar companies.
100%. And that was Turner's thing. They're looking for workers to support their business.
Yeah.
But we need mining to survive to make our mining company and our staffing company survive. Yeah. It all has to thrive. We will open the doors to anybody to help them, because it's only going to help if every single mining company like Turner did a post once every week.
Yeah.
How much more mining good stuff, showing the full cycle, the reclamation.
I 100% agree.
The trades, just anything, whatever you're looking for.
No, I love it. Joe, what is a mistake that you've made in your life that you're willing to share with us, our listeners, that they might be able to learn from?
My biggest mistake, my ego, get my way a lot in my life, and most recently, actually probably since working with these Turner guys, I walk into a room differently now than I used to. And it's an ego. Like for me, you would never know that I'm like a total introvert. Like I'm a very lone wolf.
You would not know that. I did not know that.
I get my fixes, like filling my cup is basically by myself on a boat or in a stand, or chasing an elk or something. Like I am a very quiet guy. I'm the guy on the airplane that's got his headphones and don't talk to me. I'm like laser focused, get me in a room, turn it on, But like my ego was always, and this might have been growing up with two brothers we were always pretty good at stuff. It didn't matter if we were playing bags. It didn't matter if we were playing beer pong or baseball or, whatever, shooting archery at 100 yards. We always were good at things, but like we never really gave anybody a chance, because it was kind of like you couldn't get in the circle because you just didn't feel like they were worthy of it. And like I kind of brought that into my professional career, where I just start not giving maybe the wrong people the time of day, anybody the time of day, because I was just kind of like, you know what, this isn't my conversation. But had I let my little bit of ego, where it's like they're not the right person, or you can't be in this room, whatever it is, like I would have so many more relationships right now where I don't feel like I let it spill off too much, but I know in my mind, I didn't give a lot of people a lot of chances because of that. So, yeah,
I think that you touched on something that is, I don't know if it's unique to the trades or just unique to you and me, but ego is one of those things that it is, I can tie it to almost all of my greatest failures and mistakes. And the reality is, I read a book years ago by a guy by the name of Ryan Holiday, and it was Ego is the Enemy.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I think that's what we must remember, is that it's like, I need to fight that. It is the enemy in my life. It is the thief of success. It will steal the wins from you.
Yep.
And you might experience that momentary win, but you're not going to experience the win that is life-changing.
Yeah. And
it's gonna steal it from you. And so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if people are listening to this, and we're having this conversation, and I'm going to get you back in just in time for your food to be cold.
It's all good.
They'll be leaving, and you'll be walking in. It'll be great.
This is way better anyways, yeah.
So I just really appreciate your honest and real conversation here. Like it is meaningful to me.
I appreciate that. Man, if you're living like you got something to lose, like, and again, I'm a liver, man. Like, it is like tomorrow is not going to be here.
Yeah, well,
I
that's the way
love
to
too
live.
much stuff. It scares the shit out of me to think I won't be able to do this 1,000 things every day.
Yeah.
So I try and get 1,000 things in every day, right? But there is no reason to hide any of that. And it's brought me so far. That's why I get to be myself in mining.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I'm not a politician. I'm pretty much Joe Lord, and it's like love it or hate it. I'm here, and it got me to my boys and my girls, but like the team I'm on now, which just be yourself and do it, you know?
Well, I do think that's the reality of what we need to do, and I think that's also the reality of the industries. You need to be real. And so when you're real and you're authentic, people are going to listen to what you have to say. So, again, thank you for stepping up to the line. Lastly here as we close, Joe, if people are looking for staff in this industry, where do they go? How do they find you?
Well, I'll give you my email address. It's joe.lord@turnerstaffing.com, but turnerstaffing.com, turnermining.com.
Yeah.
All sorts of trades positions. We work electrical contracting, every sort of contract you can imagine under the sun, industrial.
So not just mining, you
not
do
just
it all.
mining.
I think
Mining's our
that's
core
important.
business.
I think that's important for people to know. It's the trades industries, period. You
Everything.
are looking to find a place for
You would be
people.
shocked how many people in your backyard you would be like, wow, I had no idea there's a Turner Staffing employee right there where you're at. Probably 7 or 8 different companies right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But yeah, really just Google Turner. It's going to come up somewhere. And yeah, man, I appreciate it. This is awesome.
Joe, thanks for stepping up to the line.